Elevate Talk Show. I am your host, Deanna Johnson-Coffin.
And I'm Adriana Coffin, your co-host. And we're the mother-daughter talk show that's here to elevate your family. If you haven't done so already, please take a second to like this video and to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our latest episodes.
Yes, and we have a wonderful episode planned for you today. In our Around the Town segment, the Elevate Talk Show takes you to the Dekalb-Peachtree Airport right here in Chamblee, Georgia. My husband and I visited there recently, about maybe a month or so ago, and had a fantastic date night. Lots of lovely, wonderful things to do, and so we're gonna take you on an adventure there. Also, in our perspective segment, that's the segment where we ask you, the audience, a question, and where Adriana and I discuss that same question. We will be discussing how seniors can use technology to age in place. Now, people are living longer, so this is a topic that we thought was very relevant. So we're going to be talking about seniors using technology to age in place. And then in our continuing the conversation, on that particular subject, we're going to be talking with senior adult Stan Edwards. Stan was a former engineer, and he's going to talk about how he and his wife use technology to age in place in their lives. And so a really, really interesting conversation with me and Stan. So you absolutely want to stay tuned for that conversation. Adriana, what else?
Yes, and in our meal of the week, I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy barbecue meatball recipe, which is perfect for all of your football watching parties.
That's right. And just to recap on our continuing the conversation part, we want to ask you about seniors and technology. What kinds of things can seniors use to age in place? What kind of technology? We'd love to get feedback from you, so please answer that question in the comment section on the YouTube Elevate Talk Show page. So we'd love to get some feedback from you about that. We've got a lot planned for the show today, so we're going to take a little break, but we'll be right back, so don't go away. Well, welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show, and this is our perspective section where Adrienne and I talk about a question, and where we also encourage you, our audience, to give us your thoughts and share your thoughts in the comment section of the YouTube Elevate Talk Show page. And so the question for today is, how can seniors use technology to help them age in place? We've had this conversation off camera, but we want to bring the conversation to our viewers. So what are your thoughts about how can seniors use technology to help age in place?
Well, I think there are a lot of technologies that can be really useful to seniors. I think one thing that could be great for seniors are apps like Uber and Lyft.
Right.
Because when some seniors get to the point where they can't drive anymore, they still want their freedom. They still want to be able to go places without having to ask a family member to take them somewhere. And using ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft are a great option.
Yeah, and you actually are getting ready to walk your grandmother through that process of putting the app on her phone and then taking her through the steps to order an Uber, going with her to wherever, and then having her do it, backwards, going ahead and ordering an Uber, she going ahead and ordering an Uber for herself, because you're going to show her how to do that, right?
Yeah.
And then coming home. I think that's a great thing, and I think that it's important that our younger people help our older people, don't you think?
Yeah.
Work through them, because it can be scary thinking about all this technology. I mean, it's a lot, even for someone my age who's fairly technologically savvy, to sometimes work through. So I think part of the thing that can maybe help seniors is for someone to just walk them through it. And so I think that the Uber and Lyft apps are great things. Another thing that I think is really good is something like Google Home. where you can tell Google, you can say something verbally, right?
Yeah.
And give a command to turn off the lights or to turn on lights or to do this or that or the other. You might know more about that.
Yeah, using something like Google Assistant or
Right.
Alexa
Mhm.
to control things in your house keeps you from having to either
Mhm.
get up and adjust the lights or
Mhm.
stuff,
Mhm.
or having to interface with your phone.
Yeah.
Because that can be tricky if you're having vision
Yeah,
problems
yeah,
or if
yeah.
you have issues with your fine motor skills.
Wow,
So
wow.
being able to use voice commands is very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful. I know for us, and we're not old, but it's new technology that we've recently gotten in place. We had a new heating and air system installed last year, and now everything is, we can control the thermostat via our phones. I mean, we did it the other night from the bed. There's an app that we put on our phones, and so I was a little chilly one night, and your dad said, "Okay, sure, I can do X, Y, and Z right there from the phone." So didn't even have to get up. Really, really convenient. I mean, there's just so many things. I know, one of the things we talked about with your grandma, as far as mobility issues are concerned, is having a stairmaster. More technology that that we can put into her place to help her age in place, and not have to go to a nursing home or some other place.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other thoughts about?
Another thing that I think is great for seniors are two things: having groceries delivered,
Yes.
because that saves you from having to walk around the store,
Yes.
which can be very taxing even if you're young.
Yes.
And also meal kits.
Yes.
That way it allows you to have fresh foods without having to go out and eat, which is expensive and not healthy, and you do get sick of it after a while.
Yeah. So much technology that can be used. Another thing, as far as security goes, and door locks are concerned, there's technology that you can install, right?
Yeah.
Onto as far as locks are concerned, door locks are concerned, and that allow you to see who's at your door, like the Ring technology. There's another one.
Yeah, Vivid.
Vivid, and so you can control those remotely and see. They have cameras and different things that allow you to see who's at your door, so you can know who's at your door, beforehand or when they get there. Anyway, so just tons and tons of technology that can be put in place to help seniors age in place. So we're going to continue that conversation with Stan Edwards, a former engineer and a techie senior, and he has lots of things to share, lots of ideas, and it was a great, interesting conversation that you absolutely want to stay tuned for. So we need to take a quick break, but we are going to come right back, so don't go away.
Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show, and this week we're having Stan Edwards as our special guest in the Continuing the Conversation segment.
Yes, Stan Edwards is a retired electrical engineer who worked most of his career with the telecommunications industry. In retirement, he continues to keep in touch with the communication technology industry. He's an avid ham radio operator, and he offers emergency communications when other systems fail. So please turn your attention to our interview with Stan Edwards. Well, Stan Edwards, thank you so much for being here. It's a joy to be able to reconnect with you. It's been a while. And so when our mutual friend Nathan said, "Hey, reach out to Stan," I thought, what a great idea. So I appreciate you taking some time to talk with my Elevate audience this morning about seniors and technology. And so I guess what I would start out with is, can you tell my audience a little bit about yourself, your family, and your background, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Okay. It's good to be with you, Deanna. It has
Yes.
been a while since
Yes.
we've talked, and
Mhm.
it's good to reconnect with you.
Yes.
I am a career electrical engineer, worked in the telecommunications industry most of my career. The last few years, I worked in emergency management, actually in public health. So when the pandemic hit, it's like, okay, we saw this coming. We wrote plans 15 years ago, and
Wow.
in preparation for this sort of thing.
Wow.
But most of my career was in the communications industry, working for both telecommunications carriers as well as users. In fact, I was sort of reminiscing the other day. I actually saw cellular technology under non-disclosure when I was working for one of my former employers, and wrote a letter to go in there filing with the FCC for permission to implement the technology. So it's like, okay, this is common everyday stuff, but back then, it was really a rare thing. And if you were traveling, you would drop calls and have to replace calls. So things have evolved quite a bit during my career.
They have. That's amazing.
Family-wise, we've got 3 children scattered between Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. And my wife and I retired to the country and enjoy the quiet solitude of horses and cows and such that are in farms that are around us. So it's like, okay, time to relax.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. It sounds like a dream retirement situation. That's great. And so I know, and as you just mentioned, you have a background in technology. I mean, you were an engineer. And you know, you and I talked off screen about this, you know, a few days ago. We were texting back and forth that you're not the ordinary senior adult, in that you are very comfortable with technology. I mean, that was what your field was. But for most seniors, they're not. I mean, most seniors were not, what do you call, engineers, and are not comfortable with technology. Tell me, and so I want to address those people. Why do you think seniors are resistant to the new technology?
I don't know that they're so much afraid to tackle it, but afraid that they might get into something they can't undo.
Okay.
Or that they don't know how to handle.
Yes. Yeah.
The technology has become so easy to use.
Yeah.
Over the years that it's not something that is that difficult.
Right.
But at the same time, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't understand.
Right.
And that sometimes makes them fearful. I mean, they hear news reports about stolen identities.
Yes, you're right.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it makes them leery of using the technology because they don't know what might happen to them as a result of getting involved in it.
Exactly.
So ease is there, but at the same time, there's that concern, or even to the point of fear of what might happen if they do use it.
So let's talk about devices and services that you personally use. What kind of devices, services, things do you use in your home with your wife, with you and Carolyn, to make life easier? I mean, how does that look in your own personal home?
Well, I think right now the basics that we use are, I have a laptop that I'm talking on right now.
Right.
Okay. Now I have added a better quality microphone. In fact, I have a lavalier mic that's sitting right here.
Oh, wow.
It's a wireless mic that connects to my audio input. That's not something most people are going to do. I have an iPad.
Okay.
I like to read.
Okay, so you use that.
Download books.
Okay.
Other documents, and read it on the iPad.
Yes.
Is a very convenient thing to do. That means I don't have to go to the library.
That's right.
One of the big things I think during this whole pandemic that has come out and emphasized is the availability of the video conferencing capabilities.
Definitely.
Like we're using right now.
Yes.
For family get-togethers.
Yes.
The other thing that has really come out during the pandemic is the application of what's called telemedicine. Meet with your doctor face to face.
Yes.
Give video conferencing capabilities like Zoom and such.
Boy, you just brought out so many good things. One thing, and we're not seniors, my husband and I, but one thing that happened for us was we had to have our cooling and heating and cooling system replaced last year. So we got a brand new air conditioning system along with the heating system. So, and with that came the technology.
which I don't necessarily use, but Andrew's all into that. And so the other day I said, oh, it's a little chilly in here. We need to, I'm cold, but we were both in bed. And he said, okay. And so he pulls out his phone, and he was able to manipulate the thermostat from his phone, because the new system allows us to do that now. So he was able to manipulate it remotely, which I think is a really neat thing. We were telling my mother about that, and I just was telling you off screen that mom is 84 years old now, has some mobility issues, and my husband suggested to her that she be able to do things, that he's going to hook her up so that she can do some more things remotely. Now, the downside of that is she does still need to move. She needs to get up from her chair and go around, but for some reason, if she really can't, she would be able to manipulate her lights and her heating and air from wherever she was. So I mean, what do you think? I think I thought that was phenomenal, that he was able to manipulate the thermostat from the bed. I was very impressed with that.
I actually thought about that this morning when I woke up and the house was down to 62 degrees.
Yes.
And I thought, man, it would be nice to be able to turn that thermostat up without having to get out of bed right now. So there are advantages to all this.
Yes.
The downside is that when you have that much stuff that is computer interfaced, there's more to go wrong.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. So you have to weigh those factors, but I think for the senior who is, who's dealing with mobility issues and such,
yes,
it's a definite advantage. The advantages outweigh the downside.
They do. Now, what can family members, particularly younger family members, do to help older family members, senior family members use technology better? I think that's something that can help bridge the gap. I think younger family members can maybe help senior members. Can we flesh that out a little bit?
Yeah, I think a lot of times the younger generation is so tech savvy that they forget that their parents and grandparents don't really have that comfort level.
Right.
Because we've got a grandson who, when he was 8 years old, was playing games.
Oh, I know.
On my iPad.
Exactly.
So he's quite familiar and quite comfortable with it.
Right.
And they fail to realize many times that the older generation is just not as comfortable because they've not used it. It didn't exist.
Exactly.
So I think they can be an encouragement.
Yes.
They can help the older generation, the retirees, and those who are seniors to set up their computer, to put the applications on.
Yes.
Show them how to use it.
Yes.
Set it up so that they have predefined numbers that they call.
That's great.
Video conferencing and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So I think from that perspective, they got the technical know-how.
Right.
But they have also the gap in understanding where their parents are or their grandparents versus where they are.
Exactly.
They need to just exercise patience and showing them, okay, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, here's how you do it.
I appreciate you taking time out your schedule, Stan. Thank you so much.
Happy to do it, Diana, and look forward to talking to you again.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that interview with Stan Edwards. Don't go away. We need to take a little break, but we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. In our Around the Town segment, we are going to take you to the Dekalb-Peachtree Airport in Chamblee, Georgia. It's a great space that we recently visited, my husband and I. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't been there. I didn't get to go on that particular outing, but I saw the pictures on Facebook, and you looked like you had a great time.
We did have a great time. They have a lot to do there, viewing areas to see their planes take off and land. They have various restaurants on the premises. Just a really neat space. They have a museum, but you'll get to see all of that in our Around the Town adventures. So take a look at our Around the Town at the Dekalb-Peachtree Airport.
This week, the Elevate Talk Show takes you around the town to the Peachtree DeKalb Airport, Atlanta's gateway to the south. The Peachtree DeKalb Airport, or PDK as it is commonly called, is located at 2000 Airport Road in Chamblee, Georgia, and is the second busiest airport in Georgia behind only Hartsfield-Jackson, and averages 230,000 operation takeoffs and landings annually for more than 30 years. Sprawled across 745 acres, it comprises 3 runways, 100 hangars, 409 aviation-based businesses, and 7 flight schools, and supports a plethora of activities. If you're looking for an adventure in the air, the Prestige Helicopter Company and the Atlanta Helicopter Company offer adult sightseeing helicopter rides to various places around the metro Atlanta area, including a sky tour of Stone Mountain Park. PDK offers free kid-friendly aviation fun for children as well. The Doc Manchett Memorial Aviation Park offers a playground with a sky view that kids will absolutely love. They can watch planes take off while swinging, scaling the monkey bars, or sliding down the Kirby slide. There are also picnic tables and bathrooms underneath the Quonset hut adjacent to the playground for airport guests. If you're hungry, consider enjoying lunch or a nice dinner at the Downwind Restaurant and Lounge located in the administration building. Family owned and operated for over 3 decades, this popular eatery offers delicious meals and great views. The Peachtree DeKalb Airport is also home to Angel Flight Soars, a nonprofit organization that coordinates a network of 1,000 pilots who transport medical patients to out-of-state hospitals. The PDK Airport has a rich history in that it occupies the original site of the Naval Air Station Atlanta, which operated from 1942 to 1959, and is located on a part of the old Camp Gordon, a World War I Army training base. Whether you're taking a tour in a hangar full of vintage planes or taking off in a late model jet, the Peachtree DeKalb Airport is a place of adventure and excitement and a must-see for all. For more information about the Peachtree DeKalb Airport, visit www.pdkairport.com.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our adventures at the Dekalb-Peachtree Airport. We need to take a little break, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. And in today's Meal of the Week segment, I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy barbecued meatball recipe, which is a perfect dish for any football parties you might be having this season.
Heck, it's a perfect dish even if you don't like football. Those little delicious little meatballs, you know, if you want to, you can even get one of those little, what do you call them?
The toothpicks?
Toothpicks, but you don't have to have a toothpick. You can just get a fork. That's what I'm going to do. You know, football is great, but, you know, I just want you to know if you're not a football fan like me, you can eat the meatballs just as well. They taste just as good.
Yeah, the snacks are really where it's at. Who cares who's playing?
That's exactly right. So take a look at the Meal of the Week with Adriana's barbecue meatballs.
And welcome to the Meal of the Week segment. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make some barbecue meatballs that are perfect for any of your football parties that you'll be having this season. So I've got about 1.5 pounds of ground beef here in this bowl, and I'm just going to start off by seasoning it. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Next, I'm going to put in 1 egg to bind everything together. And 2 cups of breadcrumbs. You can make your own breadcrumbs just by throwing some bread in your food processor or blender, but you can also buy some pre-made breadcrumbs if that's easier for you. So I'm just going to stick that in, and I'm going to mix everything together with my hands until it's all nice and incorporated. Now we mixed all of those ingredients together, I'm going to add 2 finely chopped onions to our beef, and I'm just going to mix that all together. So the meatballs are ready and they're looking very delicious. Here they are right here. And now I'm going to show you how to add the barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to take some tongs and I'm going to add our meatballs to the pot. I'm going to add in 3 cups of barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to add that right into our pot. So this is 2 cups right here. And here's another cup. We're going to add in 2 teaspoons of chili powder just to give it a little extra flavor. So now that I've added in the sauce and the chili pepper, I'm just going to gently fold the sauce into the meatballs. You don't want to stir it too hard because you might break up your meatballs. And then I'm just going to let this simmer on low for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you the final results. Okay, so the meatballs are ready, and I'm just going to plate them up so that you can see what they look like. So here they are. The sauce looks really delicious. So I'm just going to put a few meatballs on this plate. And here they are. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I can't wait to see you again next week.
Well, we hope you enjoyed watching Adriana making those delicious barbecue meatballs, and we hope that you'll spend some time making them yourselves. We need to take another break. We need to go away for just a minute, but we'll be right back, so don't go away. Welcome back to the Elevate Talk Show. Our time together is just about up, but before we go, we want to remind you that the Elevate Talk Show puts out a new episode each week on Sunday evenings, and so check us out by going to the Elevate Talk Show YouTube page. Also, you can find us on Comcast Channel 25 if you live in DeKalb County, Georgia, at 7 p.m. Or you can go to Dekalb25.com, go online, and you can stream us live Sunday evenings at 7 there as well. What else?
Yes, so if you like this show, please remember to like our video and to subscribe to the Elevate channel so that you see all of our upcoming episodes.
Yes, yes, yes. And we thank you for being with us. We don't take it for granted that you take time out of your busy schedule to watch us. Have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye now.
Bye.